Okay, students, this time I am discussing here generations of computers. There are 5 generations of computers: first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generations of computers. So, first of all, first generation of computers. The first generation computers in the era 1940 to 1956. And these computers were made up of vacuum tubes. They were very expensive, huge, and complex. Some of the major drawbacks of these computers are slow in processing, less storage capacity, and computing capabilities were limited. And these computers consumed large amount of electricity and produced lot of heat. These computers used machine level language for programming, and they were not so accurate and reliable. So in the first generation, vacuum tubes were used. Example for the first generation computers: ENIAC, UNIVAC, and IBM PC, IBM 650. Then the next, second generation computers. The time 1956, 1963. The second generation computers used transistors instead of vacuum tubes. This time, transistors were used instead of vacuum tubes in the first generation. Transistors have no filament and require no heating. The programming language such as COBOL, Fortran were developed during this period. These are the high-level languages. Some of the features include had higher operating speed, manufacturing cost was very low, size got reduced considerably, the input and output devices were faster, and at that time, one of the example for the second generation computer, IBM 1401. Then the next is third generation computers. The period 1964 to 1970. These computers were made up of integrated circuits, ICs. A single IC has many transistors, resistors, and capacitors built on a single thin slice of silicon. High-level languages such as BASIC was developed during this period. Some of the features are: size was greatly reduced and the speed of processing was high. Semiconductor memory devices were used like RAM, ROM, etc. More accurate and reliable. Mini computers were introduced in this generation. Used high-level languages for programming. These are the integrated circuits. So in the third generation computers, it was used integrated circuits. For example, IBM 360, IBM 370, etc. These are the computers were used that time. Then the next, fourth generation computers. Fourth generation computers. In the period 1971 to present. So the fourth generation computers use large scale integrated circuits, LSIC, called microprocessors, later got updated with very large scale integrated circuits, VLSIC. Due to the development of microprocessors, it was possible to place computer's central processing unit on a single chip, which reduced the computer size. The computer that you see in your school is a fourth generation computer. These are called microcomputers or personal computers. Some of the features are used microprocessor as their main switching element. Their size varies from desktop to laptop or palm top, like smartphone, tablet, etc. They have very high speed of processing and are accurate, reliable, diligent, and versatile. They have very large storage capacity as compared to other generations. In this time, example for the computers are IBM PC, Apple Macintosh, Intel Pentium, etc. So the fourth generation computer used a microprocessor for processing the data. Then the next, some modern computers using microprocessor. We know that the desktop, laptop, different tablets, smartphone, etc. are the example for the fourth generation computers which is using microprocessor. Then the next is fifth generation computers. That period is 1991 to present. These fifth generation computers use artificial intelligence, AI. Artificial intelligence is the technique with which a machine is able to think and take decisions like human beings. It uses ULSI, ultra large scale integration chips. For example, robots. So the artificial intelligence is the technique that are used in the fifth generation computers. So here some tips are there. A company in Japan has created a robot that can interact with a human on emotional level. And the next, Google Glass is a wearable computer with an optical head mounted display. Wearers communicate with the internet via natural language voice commands. So this type of technique or this type of inventions are made in this fifth generation. Nowadays all things are using artificial intelligence.